I've been doing something differently over the last few months that I didn't really fully understand until just recently. It's something that started probably 5 or 6 years ago after that dark night of the soul moment I talked about in one of my previous videos, where my mindset started to change about where I was at that point in my life around 55, 56. I'm 61 right now. And what I've really fully internalized over the last 4 to 5 months is, and what's different is how I take care of myself. It's not something that I ever really did before. I didn't really take care of my mental health. I didn't take care of my financial health, my physical health. I was really kind of messed up in all of those ways. But as my mindset had started to shift at that point in my mid 50s, I really started to incorporate different things. And again, it really has solidified over the last 5 or 6 months, 4 to 5 months, really. I've been able to stack a few different habits over that time. I take daily walks. I've never done that before. I really focus on a set bedtime, a set wake up time, 7 days a week. I give myself an on ramp before I get into bed. My diet has changed. I take better care of my money. I'm more aware of what's going on with my finances. And these are things that I just never really focused on to the extent that I do now. And I think that probably is true for a lot of us once we get into our 50s or 60s. We've kind of maybe incorporated a certain mindset into our life, whether that is internal dialogue that we have with ourselves, or maybe it's messages we get from the outside that we're not worthy of taking care of ourselves and doing things for ourselves that make us feel better. I'll just give you one very small but very concrete example of something that I did over the last couple of months. Is typically when I would get into bed, I would have my phone with me. And what did I do, like so many of us probably do, is you doom scroll. You just scroll through social media. And I would have these emotional reactions to things that I was engaging with. 90% of what you see out there is just people arguing with each other, either in the videos or in the comment sections. And no wonder I couldn't sleep. I was just feeling stressed out all the time. It was literally spend an hour and a half scrolling through, whether it would be TikTok or Facebook, and engaging with these posts that just made me feel like crap. Roll over, turn the light off, and expect that I was going to be able to fall asleep or that I was going to have a restful sleep. It didn't happen. So what I decided to do was I don't take my phone into my bedroom anymore. And again, this was not something that was easy for me, because of that dopamine hit you get when you open up the apps, which they're designed to do is to keep us on the app. It was always a dopamine hit. So it was not something that was easy to do. But the more I did it, the easier it got. So my phone stays out of my bedroom now. It charges in the living room. And even during the day, the things that I do engage with, which now is very minimal, because if I'm being honest, there really was no legitimate value that scrolling on these apps was providing to my life. But in the few times that I do engage with it now, I kind of set forth a little guideline for myself. I ask myself before I open up anything, is this going to help me learn or understand something that I otherwise didn't know before? Or is this just going to make me feel something? And 99.9% of the time, it's just going to make me feel something. And 99.9% of that time, it's going to be something bad. It's not going to make me feel good. So once I started to eliminate that, my mental health has improved. Like, I can't even tell you. I have zero trouble getting to sleep now. I, I'm less stressed. I'm less anxious. I still have a pulse on what's going on in the world. I just don't engage in everybody's back and forth comments, calling each other names and all of this stuff that just served me no purpose. But before, I probably would not have done that for myself. I wouldn't have tried to give myself a way to feel better. And, you could spend a day, 2 days, 3 days talking about all the psychology behind that. And not that that doesn't matter, but that's not what I'm trying to convey here. I, I guess, once we get into our 50s and 60s, I think that we're waiting, at least I was, and I hope you can relate to it, is we wait till we feel better before we start to take care of ourselves. And what I've come to understand is that I am my biggest asset. You are your biggest asset. And I think it's the actual taking care of ourselves first. If we put that first, then the feeling better comes, regardless of what the circumstances are. And I don't, not to minimize anybody's circumstances, but I think we've kind of had the script flipped the wrong way. So I would just leave you with a question: is what if it is the opposite way? What if it's the taking care of ourselves that is the very thing that makes us feel better? What is it, something that you could do today, just one small thing? Like for me, it was taking my phone out of the bedroom. Made a huge, massive difference. It doesn't have to be something monumental. It could be something as simple as that. But that's just a question that I think is worth thinking over. What if we've had it the wrong way this whole time? What would it look like if we started to do things, if we started to take care of ourselves first, then started to feel better? What would that look like in our life? Just an interesting question that I wanted to throw out there for you. I hope you found some value in this. My name is Tony, and we talk about I talk about reinvention on this channel, how I've been able to reinvent myself over the last 5 or 6 years, and I hope to see you again in a future video. Have a great day.